Hi everyone, this is 8th grade Elevate lesson 63. For the next few days, we will be working on finding the area of shapes. We are going to kick off the learning with triangles today. We're going to spend 2 minutes on this intro. Students should be able to already know how to find the area of a rectangle. We are doing length times width, or in other words, base times height. And so if we were finding the area of a rectangle, we would do 8 times 5, giving us an area of 40 units squared. However, a triangle is just half of a square. And so the formula translates base times height. We're going to keep that base times height. But because a triangle is just half of a square, we're going to divide by half. We're going to multiply by half. We can use the formula half base times height to find the area of a triangle, or we can use the formula base times height divided by 2. Some students may see the fraction and it may throw them off. They might think that the lesson is hard. So this might be an easier formula to conceptualize. They are literally the same formula. However, fractions. Okay, so today you will be working on 4 different models. The first model takes you through a step-by-step process on how to apply the formula. So again, area is equal to half base times height. Draw a diagram and label the base and the height. So it's already been done for you here. It tells you that our base is 6 and then our height is 8 units. So we are going to then use the area formula for the triangle and substitute our values. So we kept the half. We're going to carry over the base and the height. So we have 8 times 6 times half, which 8 times 6 is 48, times half is 24 units squared. So the area is 24 units squared. Again, we could have used the other formula, base times height divided by 2, and we would have done 8 times 6 is 48 divided by 2 is 24. Then you are going to jump into questions 1, 2, and 3, which are all slightly different. So that's why I want you to model them. So in question 1, it's different than question A because question A only gave us 2 values, so we already knew which values we needed to use. We knew we needed a base and a height, so we just chose 8 and 6. Easy. However, we know that a triangle has 3 sides, so when given values for all 3 sides, what do we do? Do we just choose 2? We're not sure. So what I want you to ask students is, I see 3 values. Which is the base? Which is the height? Students may be able to immediately say, okay, the base is 6, but then there may be some discourse around which one is the height. Is it 8 or is it 10? Well, some students may know that 10 is actually what we call our hypotenuse. 8, however, is our height. Height can never be slanted. That is always a hint that I like to tell students. Height can never be slanted. So the simple fact that the line alongside 10 inches is slanted lets us know we cannot use that value as our height. It has to be 8. So we would do 6 times 8, which is 48, divided by 2, giving us 24 meters squared. Notice that that squared is being carried over because it's supposed to be inches squared, sorry. Notice that that squared is carried over because we're not just multiplying 6 times 8, we're multiplying 6 inches times 8 inches, right? So 6 times 8 is 48, but inches times inches is inches squared. And so in this particular question here, again, identifying our base is easy. It's 15. However, we have 2 separate values. We have 6 and we have 8. Height can never be slanted. Our height is 6. So 15 times 6 divided by 2 gives us 45 meters squared. And then the last question that you are going to model is this one, which is a very challenging looking question for kids. Students may view this entire green portion as their triangle. Some students may think they need to find the value of this. Some students may think they need to find the value of this. They're not sure. However, what you want to let students know is that anytime they see a dotted line, they don't account for that as their shape. They only count for the solid lines as their shape. Okay? The dotted lines just help us understand the lengths of the shape. So, our base then, if we know that our orange figure is our shape, our base is 4. So what's the purpose of the dotted line? Well, we know that our height can never be slanted, so it's not 9. What we needed to do was to draw a 90-degree angle from our height to our base to be able to calculate the side length, or in other words, the height. This gives us that straight line that we can use for our height, which is 7. So we would need to do 4 times 7, giving us 28 yards squared, divided by 2, 14 yards squared. So from there, students are going to take about 15 minutes to work on questions 4 through 8 with a partner, and then you'll launch them into their exit ticket. They will get 1 point for writing down the formula, showing their work, and then also getting the correct answer. 3 points per question, 2 questions total, so 6 points altogether. And then for their fluency for the day, they are going to be multiplying and dividing fractions. You can choose which one you want them to work on for the day. Today's lesson is a lot of multiplication, so you may want them to work on division, or you may want them to practice multiplication for the entire day. Your choice. You may also want them to mix and match.